So, welcome back to Ship Happens.
If you're new here, this is our journey of restoring a 1943 HDML that was used in World War II.
Yeah, as you can tell, well, as you can probably guess, she needs quite a bit of attention.
Yes. So, on our last episode, we laminated up in 3 sections the web frame because it's on a bit of a curve in the engine room here. So, what we need to do now is take it off, clean it up, and get it fitted.
We need to try and get it off.
And all the clamps are going to be glued to it.
I think it's going to be, the clamps are going to be glued to it, and it's going to be glued to the hull. Even though we did put some like masking tape behind, but there's a few areas I noticed where they're glued. Crept past the masking tape. Anyway, let's go.
Let's start removing clamps.
Yeah, this one's still weak.
Okay, we've got a handle.
So this comes with like a little handle that's stuck to. So should we take this to the workshop and have a good closer look? First inspection looks alright, doesn't it? Hope it's got a clamp stuck to it, but there's no voids. Down this end here, we've sort of slightly gone off track a little bit. But apart from that, well, it's actually going to get cut on a scarf around here, so that doesn't matter for our first lamination attempt. It's not too bad. Yes.
So there's no voids in it, which is good. It's all nice and perfect. And it's in the shape that we need it to be, a bit bent. So I haven't cleaned up the bottom too much because a lot of it is going to get cut off for the scarf joint. So what we're going to do now is cut the scarf joint in it, get it to height, and then if there's any little areas that need cleaning up, then I can do it. But quite impressed with that.
So we're basically waiting for paint to dry on the laminated web frame, so we may as well move a bit further aft and then carry on with the repairs. So basically, we've got a sister to do here. So we're going to, once one of these come out, we're going to put our big sister along there. We've got a web frame up there, and then we've got a dreaded web frame behind the exhaust here. But it's only the very, very top of it. But it's a bit unfortunate that, but we're gonna have to somehow get the knee off and then work around the exhaust. But we're not gonna do that one, I don't think today, because that's a big job on itself. So I think I'm gonna focus on this one. So that's right near all of the inverter and stuff like that. But as I've said previously, this inverter is not staying here. Me and Gemma have just been having a big debate on where the inverter should live. Initially I was saying it should go upstairs out of the engine room basically. When we're underway it's going to be very humid and oily and just not a very nice environment, is it, for a sensitive piece of electronics. So I think we're going to be putting it in this cupboard here. So I think we're going to be making this into our like electricity cupboard. So it's going to have like, eventually it's going to have 2 inverters in there. So it's going to have like a slave and a master. And then all the little gizmos, the DC to DC converters and stuff like that. So I think they're They're going to be mounted on the wall. We're kind of figuring out whether we should put the batteries in there, but we're not too sure because these are the fuel tanks. So I'm not too sure if there's any rules or coding or something daft like that say the batteries have to be a certain distance away from the fuel tanks. We're not quite sure. So if you guys have got any like understanding of this sort of thing, be good to have some input. Anyway, right, so yeah, all our batteries at the moment are staggered down there. So it'd be nice to get, the boat likes a bit of weight forward, so it'd be nice to move the batteries forward and to keep the batteries as low as we possibly can. So to keep them below, because I think these ones here are pretty much on the waterline. So if we can drop them down a couple of feet, so it's going to help with stability, isn't it? Oh yeah. So I'll just remove the packer. There's nothing wrong with the packer, but I thought while we're there, we may as well change it. Doesn't cost much, does it? Gives us a good view of the frame behind. So she's in good nick. So now we need to go make some of these. Get that in, including screwed. We'll plane the scarf back, remove a couple of nails in there, and then we'll start offering up a new web frame. So I hope we can get this glued in as well today. So the tide's on its way in. See behind me? So we may as well get rid of all this rubbish, haven't we? Don't panic, we're not going to film it and bore you. Right, so we're waiting for the dust to settle in the engine room. It's amazing, like, such a confined area. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. And I was just, like, looking around. We've been tidying up. And I was just looking at this. Job list. Port bow, woodwork. Well, we've done that.
Can we do a new one?
What do you want to do?
Let's do a new list.
Let's do a new list. Right, so we've done the hair and makeup. You've got a mask on your head, don't you?
Got my fancy hat on. I got all technical, look at that. Red for port. See, I'm learning. Port, engine room, woodwork. Port side.
Yep.
Starboard side, engine room, woodwork.
Yeah, might take a while, that bit.
Yeah. Tops of the frames, there's a couple of little tops that we've noticed that
We'll know more when we do the...
Yeah, can't really get to them until we've got more deck up, stuff like that. Beam shelf. We're going to do the beam shelf before we remove the decks.
Can I just butt in for a second?
Go on.
Right. Whenever we watch our footage back sometimes, because we do that, Jem always goes, "You could have told me I had like dirt around my nose."
Have I got a dirty face?
So I'm doing it now, aren't I? There you go.
Thanks, live on camera.
Live.
I don't know, I always get it when I wear these masks. I'm going to show you. That, I squash it into my nose and it's dead tight. Obviously, you have to wear it properly, Jem. But why do I always get dirty marks there?
Because you've got a pointy nose. How do I?
Hasn't everyone got a pointy nose? That's what they do, they stick out your
like
face.
A witch.
Right, okay, so you weren't stop me because I was wrong. Okay, beam shelf. So yeah, we're going to do that. The stem post. There is stem. Is that what it's called?
It's called the stem, yeah.
Stem. So the very front of the boat, the pointy bit that goes up like that. We think that needs work, but we need to take off the cut water and things like that because it's got a big stainless steel cut water on. So that needs looking at really before we can get to the decks. And inside the anchor locker. Now, as you seen the other week when I pointed the camera in there, it doesn't look too bad. So obviously there's going to be something because nothing in this boat is ever 100% perfect. There's always something to do. So, but I think it'll be minimal. And then once we've done all of that, then we can replace the decks. This year, hopefully. Got a lot to do. before the weather gets nice enough, because we need to do the decks in the summer when it's nice, not the winter. So if we don't get all this done before winter, then we're screwed. Decks are going to have to be next year. But
what's the urgent bit at the top?
Urgent? Oh. Like and subscribe. Robbo wrote that like ages ago. So you've got to listen to Robbo and like and subscribe. So there you go. Hopefully it won't be long until we can tick the first job off the list.
Well, I think the deck as well is going to be done in stages, so even if we don't get all the engine room sorted, we can then, when the weather improves, we can then start to go outside and take advantage of nice days to do the I want to take the very forward part of the deck off, because it's all plywood, just sheets anyway, nailed across, and actually have a good look right at the point of it, because a lot of items converge at that point, so we need to get our head around on exactly how we're going to do this job. So
done a technical drawing. So
everything in red needs doing.
yeah, there's all the woodwork in the engine room. We've done all of that bit. There's the anchor locker, there's the stem post, and there's the beam shelf. So our deck raises up here. So we're only concentrating, hopefully this year, on getting the front bit of the deck, because this is in a separate one, and we've got to do the same again on the back and all the woodwork done before we can do the deck. But at least if we can get this front deck done this year and all this work, half of the boat is technically done. Because this roof's done as well, so obviously we've still got all the sides to do and stuff like that. But
would it be easy to make a new boat?
It probably would have been easier to make a new boat, but she's a historic boat. So you make a new boat, or what? You've just made that in 2023. Good on you, nice one, yeah. But it's just a boat. This is history, and I think a lot of people don't understand that we're not doing this boat because we want a stupid massive boat, because it is too big for us. It is.
We could probably cut it in half, couldn't we?
Yeah. Well, we can just finish the front half, cut from the back of the engine room. We'll have our engine. Yeah. There you go. It's half our work, isn't it? But yeah. Right. Less talking, more work. Otherwise, the boat will never get finished. So, we're now going to put a sister on this one in one solid piece. We haven't painted that side because we're going to glue it. But will we get this into there?
Yes.
So this is where it was cracked. So I put some epoxy in it just to stiffen it up.
That's basically why we're having a big sister here. It's a bit overkill, but
yeah, just for that I've epoxied up. Think you put enough glue on it?
Yep.
Not even going to attempt to clean that glue up. Going to leave it till it sets, and then I'm just going to get my knife on it. Isn't it so weird, like doing white woodwork?
Can't really see it. So here's one you prepared earlier. Is that right?
Yeah, I need a hammer.
Lock and stick coming up.
Oh,
trying to film.
I don't look.
Yeah, not big
I'm
enough.
not strong.
Not big enough.
No, I want to get the.
I love my hammer collection, by the way. I think I've got one for every eventuality.
Oh!
Well, they said you on tape, but then you ignored me, so...
Oh, I've done it again! Okay, do you want to just screw that in while I go and... I'm wearing it everywhere. So, maybe we'll put masking tape over it, so... I'm going to have a bath tonight, aren't I? It's not even Christmas.
Don't normally use this one. It sounds like it's got a misfire. Really? Right, so now we need to prepare some epoxy and fit the web frame that we've laminated and proper drawn out, haven't we? Right, let's get that fitted. Yep.
Actually, before we do that web frame and that web frame, should we do the stringer down there?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Because if we get that string carved up, then the epoxy mix I can use for both of them.
Hate to say it, but that's quite a good idea.
Always right.
What month is it?
Oh, go on. I had a good idea. Give me the praise I deserve, will you?
I did. I said what month was it? First time this year. You've done well. Anyway, too much talking. Go. Right, so this system is to get past this crack here, because as we know, on the port side, she's had a hit at some point and it's upset the boat. But we're going to put it in as long as we possibly can again. So I've already cleaned underneath, cleaned it up a bit. We've got access here because we've cut the web frame out, so we can go in that way and then slide it sideways. What we need to be careful of is these heating pipes. There's a few wires and stuff like that, but let's try and get her in.
I'm going to call it there, so it's level with the web frame because there's a piece of wood here, so if that ever needs to come out, then that isn't in the way. Wearing this glue again. So we just started cutting the web frame for this fit on this here. And we cut it and it's got to bend probably about 20 mil. And over a short piece of oak, it's quite impossible to bend that much. We're going to have to go back to how we did the other one and laminate it.
One pump there.
So I done the knee before off camera because you've seen me do loads, and this knee actually said P21, so it's the 21st knee back. You wouldn't think there was that many knees, would you? But then again, when they're a foot apart or so. So I'll say it again, and I say it every time, but there might be someone new here watching that doesn't know, and they'll shout at me in the comments. Them tech screws that we put the knees on with are only temporary. They will come out and they will be coppers all the way through. But
say that again.
I'm saying it again, just you never know, there might be new people who don't know what the score is, so yeah. Cool. First web frame in the engine room.
Right, so I've got the biggest, it's not my biggest drill, but I've got a long drill anyway, because that's going to go all the way through to the outside of the hull. So, because for now we just put a threaded bar on it to clamp it up, to keep everything tight in the right position, especially where the glue goes off.
See that shot? Like hanging a camera through the window. That was good, that though, wasn't it? Come out like I didn't even know, I couldn't see what the screen was pointing at, but
yeah. Hang on a minute. Hello? Who was it? BBC? Yep.
So they want to employ me.
Right, yeah, just cancel. Yeah, okay, yeah, we're with you. Bye.
Right, see you later. I've got a job with the BBC.
Yeah.
Camerawoman skills of the year. There we go.
Just gonna put my hand through there, open the window a bit. Oh my god, that's massive. Right, no, that's right. I've got control. And then just save me going outside in the mud.
Hold on a minute.
Oh.
Hold on. Hold on, my camerawoman job of the year.
You reckon you can see there? I'm waving my hand.
Yeah, I got you.
Right. Yeah. See that? That's 20 years of being like in the motor trade then. Problem is I overcut my bolt. Look.
Big enough, dear?
It takes some spinning down, doesn't it? But they don't call them bolt cutters for nothing, do they? Oh yeah. Yeah. Perfect.
Right, we're going to call it a day now. So that was quite a lot of work. And I know it's like we've just started, but there's not much left to do on this port side.
Yeah.
You know, there's
We've got 2 webs.
Is that it?
Yeah. 2 webs.
Obviously.
Then she's strong then. Obviously she then needs a load of like scraping and painting and all that sort of jazz.
Yeah, but I'm not going to concern myself with getting it all painted up.
Yeah.
We're just going to move over to the next side and smash it in. And then if we do get volunteers that come down, hi Robbo, hi Janice, hi anyone else, then they can clean it up and paint it if they want to. So I think we're maybe having a visit from Robbo next week.
Have we? Oh,
yeah, there you go. So he's got a job to do, which is nice because sometimes we struggle to give people jobs when they come down to the boat. So thank you so much for watching.
Cheers, guys.
And hopefully next time we'll have this side finished.
Ooh, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
That was quick, wasn't it?
We're getting good at this. We should do this as the job. Anybody want the boat fixing? I'll bring my drill. And my jammer.
And your drill and your jammer. There you go, you can achieve anything with a drill and a jammer. So, see you all later.
See you later.
Bye. Thank you all so much for watching. Please consider subscribing if you haven't done already, as it really helps the channel out. See you all next week.